If you've been tossing your lawn clippings into a forgotten corner of the yard or stuffing them into trash bags, you might be throwing away one of the best natural fertilizers and soil-building tools you have on hand. Most gardeners think of grass clippings as slimy, smelly, and prone to rot, and yes, used the wrong way, they can cause more harm than good. But when you use them the right way, grass clippings become a quiet superpower. Not only can they improve your soil structure and nutrient profile, but they also act like a magnet for earthworms, nature's best soil engineers. This isn't about throwing fresh green clippings on top of your garden beds and hoping for the best. That often leads to mats of grass that trap heat, block oxygen, and kill more life than they support. What we discovered at Hydrohaven was a different approach: partially dried grass clippings, tucked directly into the soil in a specific way that transforms dead zones into moist, worm-friendly tunnels. Within 1 week of testing this trick, we found worm castings in places that had been compacted and lifeless just days earlier, and the difference in plant health? Noticeable. Let's walk you through exactly how this works, why it's so effective, and how you can recreate this method in your garden. No special tools or compost bins required. Before diving into the method, let's talk about why attracting earthworms matters so much. Earthworms are not just a sign of good soil, they create it. Their constant burrowing improves drainage, aerates the soil, and helps roots access oxygen. Their castings are rich in enzymes, beneficial bacteria, and plant-ready nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But worms are picky. They only show up where the environment feels just right: cool, moist, well-structured, and rich in soft, organic matter. That's where grass clippings, used correctly, become a powerful tool. They're high in nitrogen, easy to break down, and when tucked underground, they mimic the natural mulch layers found on a forest floor. The trick is giving them a chance to age slightly and placing them inside the soil, not on top, so they decompose in place and create a warm, welcoming pocket for soil life to flourish. Start by collecting grass clippings and letting them sit in a pile for a day or two. Not long enough to turn slimy, but just enough to lose their heat and begin softening. This short aging step is important. Fresh clippings are too hot and can suffocate worms or disrupt microbial life. Slightly aged clippings, on the other hand, are like a sponge, rich in protein and already populated with early-stage microbes. Next, loosen the top few inches of soil in your garden bed, raised planter, or container. You don't need to dig deep or disturb roots, just enough to open narrow trenches or small holes. Then gently pack handfuls of the aged grass clippings into the space and cover with the soil you just moved aside. Water lightly to settle everything, and then apply a thin mulch layer over the top to protect it from drying out. What you've created is a subterranean decomposition zone, cool, moist, and rich in nitrogen. It's like an underground buffet line for worms. And unlike surface mulches, which can dry out or blow away, this method anchors the organic matter right where it's needed. Within days of applying this method, you'll notice changes. If you check the buried areas after a week, you'll often find visible worm trails and soft, dark soil forming around the clippings. The breakdown process generates a mild heat that encourages fungal and bacterial growth, but not so hot that it drives away worms. In fact, the gentle warmth helps attract them during cooler nights. The worms consume the grass as it softens, and they leave behind castings that enrich the soil right at the root level. This is nature's version of slow-release fertilizer. Instead of watering in nutrients that may leach away, you're letting biology deposit them exactly where plants need them: stable, available, and packed with life. Over the next few weeks, you may find that areas treated with this method stay moister for longer, show fewer signs of compaction, and produce stronger, greener plants. The clippings themselves will vanish, broken down into humus and worm castings. All that's left behind is living, breathing soil. Most gardeners know they can compost grass clippings, but very few think to use them directly in the soil. The problem with composting is that it takes time, and requires space, turning, and management. And once you've finished, You still have to apply the compost afterward. So this method actually skips the wait. You're composting in place underground using the soil as the container and the worms as the workers. It's less labor, less space, and honestly, faster results. Plus, compost bins can lose nitrogen through ammonia gas if they heat too much. By burying clippings instead, you trap that nitrogen in the soil and let the worms and microbes convert it into stable organic matter. And let's not forget the water savings. Organic matter acts like a sponge. Soil treated this way holds moisture better, meaning you'll water less, stress your plants less, and build a more resilient garden over time. The beauty of this method lies in its simplicity. No fancy inputs, no special tools, just the clippings you were about to throw away, used in a smarter way that mimics nature's own soil building process. It's low effort, high return, and best of all, it brings the worms in by the dozens. If your soil feels dry, tired, or lifeless, try stuffing it with aged grass clippings in the way we've described. You might be shocked at how quickly life returns. Worms will come, the smell will improve, and within weeks, your soil will begin to feel softer, darker, and more alive. For more hands-off gardening methods that get nature to do the hard work for you, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned here at Hydro Haven. And if this trick helped transform your garden, share this guide with someone else who could use a little more life in their soil. Let's bring our gardens back to life, one handful of clippings at a time.